Hi, Sasha.
Hello.
This show is so fascinating. Just when I thought I know what's going on now, it would take a turn and I'd be even more intrigued. What was your first impression when you read the script?
That I definitely want to be a part of this. The same thing. I mean, I think I only read one episode, but immediately I fell in love with Jessica Hyde. I love the layers to her character, and once you read one or once you get past the first episode, you definitely want to discover more and learn more and see kind of how everything unfolds. And so I think that's kind of the best part, the conspiracies and all of that. It just keeps you on your toes and keeps you wanting to like flip the page.
When an actor does an audition, they usually get a description of the role that they're auditioning for. Do you remember what your first description was when you were trying out for the role, and how did your impression of Jessica change as you began filming?
My I think it was along the lines of, somebody who's been on the run her whole life and is trying to save her dad. And I think it was more along the lines of that. And then I met with Gillian and we kind of started talking more about Jessica Hyde and talking about kind of how we want her to develop and how you don't really want to hate her necessarily. She's not someone who's just, straight savage, I guess. But that there's layers and that it builds up. And so when I went into that audition, I was hoping to bring kind of a mean stare, but with a heart at the same time. And as we started filming, we just kind of fell more in love and fell more in love. And yeah, it was just cool to be able to actually have a show where there's time to step by step build up the character more. I think that's kind of the beauty of a series versus a movie too.
What were your auditions like? What did you have to do for them?
So I had one audition, and I remember I wanted this role so bad that I refused to audition unless everyone was in the room who needed to be in the room. There was not going to be any send in a self-tape or we're going to send it to Toby later, the director. I made sure everyone was in that room. And I think one of the scenes that didn't actually make it in, we kind of switched it up, but it was something with me and Becky and then one with me and Grant. And I just remember the director sitting, sitting off to the side, and I just stared so deep into his soul that I wanted to make sure there was no way he was going to let anyone else play Jessica Hyde. And that was my truth. I think I really just stared straight into his face. So it worked, apparently.
I was thinking that after this pandemic, we're going to get a lot of shows that are, along this theme, talking about what we went through. Having filmed Utopia, this was made before.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts before it was released?
Definitely, how are people going to take this? I feel like some people are naturally going to be upset because it hits close to home, but at the same time, it's not a documentary. It's art imitating life, life imitating art, and kind of conspiracy theories and all of those things have always kind of existed. So, I mean, I have no idea how we didn't expect, obviously, a pandemic to happen, but it did. And it just made, I think, the show that much more intense and kind of, we're excited, but we're also like, whoa, people hitting you up being like, did you know something ahead of time? It's like, obviously not, but yeah, it's crazy.
First season ended with a little bit of a cliffhanger. What's the word on a second season?
I am hoping that comes. That's on Amazon. We will see, but hopefully, hopefully it happens because I think we'd all love that. So
what's next for you? Did you have any projects that were lined up that have been delayed due to the pandemic?
Yeah, there's definitely been some things that have been delayed and, in the talks of things, but it's more so of when can we really start. People are paying attention to COVID, obviously, and being really safe with it, and things that have started. I think they're taking like proper measurements for it, but it's all rolling out. Just hanging with my daughter in the meantime and keeping it cool.
And finally, one last question. If you had your choice of any role, what would your next role be?
I don't know. I think I don't, at this point, Jessica Hyde was something that I think I've been dying to play, and it kind of was the dream role for me. So when it comes to another role, I'm just pretty open. I'd love to do something in animation though. I really want to just be like a lamp or something, and like a talking lamp. I know that's not necessarily like everyone's goal, but that's a goal of mine. So if you know any people who need lamps, I'd love to play it.
I'm sure that's going to happen for you. You have a very bright future ahead of you. And thank you so much for talking to me today.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.